Today's busy and popular East 4th Street here in Cleveland. Our setting today is just at the end of that block. Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brett Berry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. Well, we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Capella.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young is out there with Bember. And it's Capella in at the center position. And for the Cavaliers, Ashman and Love are the forwards. Exum is out there with Garland. And it's Drummond in at the 5. And in tonight's game, pride definitely bred at stake. When you were with the Spurs, or any of the teams, talk about some of the epic conference rivalries you played in.
Well, I always go back to playing against the Phoenix Suns in the 7 seconds or less Steve Nash-led teams, along with Amari Stoudemire, and what Mike D'Antoni was introducing to the game back in 2005, 2006. Which, by the way, Kevin, everybody is doing now.
Right, yeah.
But tremendous talent on the court at that time. Tremendous disparity in style of play. And watching Steve Nash during MVP years trying to conduct his team against the vaunted Spurs. Fantastic, incredibly competitive match.
And a lot of speed. I mean, it was eye-opening to watch.
And it was the Spurs trying to catch up. So how are we going to do the Rock'em Sock'em game against the 7 seconds or less? He kind of took care of it.
Here's Exum. Trains the three-pointer. Exum's got 5 now. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. It's a 5-point game. He kicks it to Collins. Back to Young. And stolen by Drummond. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Good job getting the ball and completing that play.
The defense producing easy looks. It just helps you conserve some energy for late in the game.
Young's shot is off.
There's a little bit of pressure on him, but not enough to cause him to miss a shot that's in that close.
And that one's good. Osman.
And early on, they look great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
For Atlanta, they come in off the loss to the Nets.
You know, it seemed like once it went to overtime, the confidence from both teams just really seemed to go in opposite directions. And unfortunately for them, they were on the wrong side of that equation.
Now, here's Capella. 8 points his last outing. 3 on the clock. And it's Young. That time on the assist from Capella.
Young working hard on the defensive end that time.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Garland with it. He's against Young. That one falls.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Hawks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks as always. I had a chance to catch up with Coach John Beilein. One player who's on his mind in this matchup is Clint Capella, an extremely mobile and athletic 7-footer. Coach said he's a star in his role, defense and vertical spacing. Kevin, we'll see how they handle it.
Thanks, David. Here's Garland. Following the bucket by the Hawks. Here's Exum. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And how about the start they've gotten off to? They haven't missed once.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Exum. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Young outside. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Trae Young showing off his finishing ability on the inside.
And Brent, many consider Trae Young the first product of the Steph Curry generation. He grew up in the age of the three-point shot.
I think that's pretty fair. He said he recorded all of Steph Curry's games. He studied them and tried to see where Steph was gaining some advantage, and that balance of his shooting and his playmaking, then moving without the ball. You can see all of those sort of attributes that are coming out of Trae Young, courtesy of Steph Curry.
On the free throw, no good.
Maybe not a super athlete, or at least a hyper athlete in the Westbrook mode, but Trae Young's ball handling ability does some incredible things for him out there on the floor to create space and help him change pace for those kind of angles where he can score.
Here's Young, following the basket by Kevin Love. Young inside. In the corner, it's Hunter. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. And you love the aggressiveness of Young, attacking off the dribble, and Brent, for his size, able to finish inside.
Well, he can get to the inside. He can shake guys loose. It's his ability to see the floor, Kevin, but it still comes down to that range where Trae Young has confidence to pull up from just about anywhere to get his offense going.
And Drummond is right there.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Here's Young. It drops for his third basket. He's missed only one shot. The Cavaliers leading by 8. Now Garland. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. Pass to Love. 6 on the shot clock. Garland with it, working on Collins. Second shot opportunity, and there's the nice layup by Drummond. Drummond's got 6 points.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Here's Young. He had a 39-point outing in their last game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And you know, he was getting fouled time and time again and really delivered at the free throw line. Huge contribution there, guys.
Here's Garland. Following the basket by Trae Young. Lets it go from 11, and it's Drummond missing. The Hawks trail by 8. Young inside. And there's Hunter on the assist from Young.
Well, we know that Trae Young is a phenomenal passer, which is why you just can't leave him open like that.
Left side, Love. Cleveland gets it back. Drummond does not find the target. That makes him 3 for 5. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off a good outing against the Grizzlies. Left side, Collins, and stolen by Drummond. Exum with it, and Young picks him up defensively. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Three-pointer. He's 4 for 6 from the field with that miss. The Cavaliers leading by 6. From 11 feet away, up again. It's good on the putback.
Already, they piled up 8 second chance points.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. Sexton, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Jeff Teague, he's checked in for the Hawks. So it's the Hawks now, trailing here by 8. Young drives in. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Here's Garland. No points in the game yet for him. Right block shot, and he hits the jump shot.
Wow, he doesn't make plays like that very often. That's a nice move inside.
Young taking his time here. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Young's got 12 in the game.
This is a one-man show right now. He's on a mission to get him out of this hole.
Garland dishes to Drummond. Now here's Sexton. Teague covering. Here's Drummond. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket. He's got 10.
Pursues the offensive glass with purpose. Drummond knows who he is, and boy, does he attack it.
Young passes to Teague. Back to Young. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. 14 points for Trae Young.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
The Cavaliers leading by 6. Passes to Sexton. Collins comes over with the double team. And Love throws it down.
Sexton working the ball to a teammate. That's what you want to see from him.
Love's gotten 3 of his 4 shots to fall, hitting 75%.
And speeding up the offense, something the Hawks began last season.
It was interesting for the Hawks, kind of zigging while everybody's zagging, as they made it a priority to get to the offensive glass, along with tons more field goal attempts in their offense, and that's been giving some defenses fits.
And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
And he makes the first. Brent, offensive versatility, all the rage now. Which guards do you think do the best job of generating offense with their back to the basket?
I don't know so much as these guys are playing with their back to the basket, Kevin, so much as they're finding ways to get the ball without a dribble at about 15 feet away from the basket. So one dribble, they're at the rim.
Right.
They're very effective at the mid-range. Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan have had tremendous efficiency from those areas on the floor. So those are the kind of players that put some pressure on your defense, because they're starting their offense so close to the basket, and they're effective with which they do it. Not on the post, not on the perimeter, and they're finding ways to be impactful.
Three-pointer, Dellavedova, rebounded by Capella. The Hawks trail by 6. Teague, the pass to Young. Chalk up 2 there. Young's got 16 points.
Trae Young showing you variety in a lot of ways.
And here is Dellavedova. The dish to Porter. Nance against Collins. 6 to shoot. And Nance kicks to Sexton. Rebound, Atlanta. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys, and they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
For Atlanta, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And the first one drops.
An athletic forward with a versatile skill set. Hunter has also proven he can come up big in big moments.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Capella. Jones comes in for Collins. And Kevin Huerter subbed in for Trae Young. Here's Zizic. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's Dellavedova. And the jam by Larry Nance.
Well, a big reason why Dellavedova is out there is because he can see who's available.
The Hawks trail by 4. T kicks to Jones. Back to Teague. The shot will not fall. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Atlanta.
Yeah, and they lost the season series to this squad last time around. Maybe a little extra motivation tonight to show they've improved.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Nance. First in field goal percentage, and he's a defensive ball hawk. You can't let your guard down. Remember, he's 10th in the league in steals per game.
And you're right, he's been the pinnacle of scoring efficiency. Never seems to take a bad shot. That's why he's tops in field goal percentage. The first free throw is good. And in his rookie season, Kevin Huerter out of Maryland taking his time and finding his spots.
Yeah, after his sophomore year in Maryland, Kevin felt like he was ready for the NBA. And I think Travis Schlenk, the general manager of the Hawks, looking at shooting as something he wanted to build on coming from the Golden State Warriors. He got a great shooter in Huerter.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Well, a great three-point shooting team for many, many years. The Cavs took a massive step backward last season, and their inability to score from downtown really cost them.
Here's Zizic. Nance passes to Zizic. And another shot, and the basket good. A bank shot that time. And the Cavaliers lead by 4.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Right wing. There's the triple. And Huerter gets it to go. Huerter's got 5 now. Yeah, you know, you look at the problems the Cavaliers have had on offense, Brent, second to last in the league in total points a season ago.
Yeah, they just didn't have shooters, Kevin, so really hard to get back into games where you have 10 and 12-point deficits and nobody to drill shots from the three-point line. They were okay inside the arc, but that ability to shoot, boy, that helps.
And Atlanta has possession after Colin Sexton's three-pointer that didn't go. And there's the rebound by Dedmon.
He just doesn't look like himself this quarter. Something's missing.
Well, he's missing, and it's starting to affect a little bit in his body language, and you just don't want to see that.
Sexton finds Dellavedova. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's stolen by Reddish. Here's Huerter. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 4th assist in this one.
Huerter out there completing the break on the run.
There's 38 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Pass to Zizic. Sexton deciding where to go with it. Back to Zizic. There's the pass to Sexton. It's Dedmon with the rebound.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And Reddish with the slam.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it? Here's Sexton. No good on the last second attempt there. Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Atlanta. What an amazing quarter. There was absolutely no stopping him. Back right after this. A unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years in a welfare orphanage in Switzerland. He said he never imagined he'd come this far.
Even as a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that far. I always said it's even past my dreams. I mean, now I'm just living the moment, trying to work hard, as hard as I can, and just enjoy the present. Enjoy the present.
Just an inspiring story, Greg. It gives you perspective on why you should be grateful for everything you have.
Kevin, without a doubt, Capella's upbringing helped shape him, and the hard work he continues to put in is really admirable.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
Well, if they wanted to start well, this would be it. They seized momentum right away, and they just didn't let it go in that quarter.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, they've got Sexton. Hands out there with Zizic. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Porter in at the small forward. Herter, no good.
Well, the D's so tight on him, and makes him alter his shot. And an easy chance turns into a tough one because the defense is swarming.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, the Hawks said they were going to be patient when they rebuilt their team, and they were going to do it through the draft, and they've stuck to that script. Now, Trae Young is probably the biggest name, but Atlanta's added a lot of great young talent the last 3 years. There's John Collins, Kevin Herter, and in 2019, the Hawks added 3 more good young players in the draft. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and Bruno Fernando. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
I would think so, too. On paper, it looks good. We'll see if it materializes. D.A., thank you as always. A nice shot by Teague.
And a coaching hire by the Cavaliers that caught most off guard. John Beilein had led the Michigan Wolverines for 12 seasons, their all-time leader in coaching wins.
Well, there was also talk the year prior about John Beilein joining the Detroit Pistons organization, so finally making the jump to the NBA, where it's a much different challenge. It's going to be very interesting to see how it is that Coach Beilein implements a lot of his offensive schemes that were so successful in college. That's not going to make you a favorite target of your teammates. They'll think twice about feeding you if you're going to keep missing layups.
Here's Reddish. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And, of course, there's no questioning Cam Reddish's talent level. Greg, he has a high ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, great size, length, the fluidity as an athlete. He can make an impact at both ends of the floor, shoots the 3 well for a young player, and you love his ability to match up really 1 through 5.
That free throw good from Reddish. Especially in the playoffs, Brent, so much can change when a player gets into foul trouble. Do you see the league ever modifying that foul out rule?
I know that they do that in the summer league, where you can stay on the court for 10 fouls as elimination, but it's a technical every time. I don't see the league doing that. I think it's good for the game so that star players or meaningful players, ones that play specifically on defense, they have to have responsibility for what it is that they're doing on the floor. And if they're overly aggressive, you should be penalized for playing that way.
It will go down, and the Hawks' lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from Sexton. Here's Teague. Garland with the rebound.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked it.
Sexton seeing the floor, knowing where to run that time. Good pace.
Now here's Teague. He's tightly guarded. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. The feed to Dedmon. In the corner. Herter with it. Trains it from beyond the arc. Herter's got 10 points.
Shot preparation is fantastic as Herter's able to get his feet set that time.
Here's Osman. An 11-point game for him in the win against Memphis.
His passing, another high point in that game. He made sure it wasn't all about him. He wanted to get his teammates involved.
Here's Zizic. Here's Nance. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Reddish. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Nance.
Yeah, the defender all over it. And even with the shift from Budenholzer to Pierce, The Hawks continue to rely on the three as much as any team.
No doubt about it. I think the front office still accentuating the fact that they want to find some floor spacers after that 19th pick in John Collins, a guy that can rim run and protect the middle. They wanted to go after as much shooting as they possibly could.
First one falls for him. A different look now for Cleveland. Drummond's checked in for Ante Zizic, and it's Exum in for Colin Sexton. Then for the Hawks, Clint Capella, he's checked in for Damian Jones. DeAndre Bembry comes in for Kevin Huerter. Young is subbed in for Jeff Teague. And he makes both free throws.
You look at the youth movement here going on in Cleveland. They had a lottery pick to work with 2 seasons in a row, and now a college coach coming in with a bunch of young players. You wonder if some of their veteran guys might not be around the entire season as they look to continue to try to collect some assets to rebuild this franchise.
Now here's Garland. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Young. Larry Nance making his last shot. Pass to Bembry. Back to Dedmon. Out left to the wing. A beautiful reverse layup. Bembry's got his first basket. And Brent, the Cavaliers have been lucky with high lottery picks.
They got really lucky with that #1 pick in LeBron James many moons ago, Kevin, but it's time for a rebuild here in Cleveland, and you wonder what the rookies that are coming in this season, along with John Beilein as a tremendous offensive coach in college at the University of Michigan, if this all doesn't help accelerate some of the learning curve for these young talented players.
Collins checked in for Atlanta. Hunter comes in for Reddish. And here are the Cavaliers now. 4-point game. To the paint. Here's Garland. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw good. Garland.
And when Kyle Korver played for Atlanta, he set a league record with at least 1 3-pointer in 127 consecutive games.
And to think that you just wouldn't have one of those nights where nothing was going in. 127 is pretty impressive. Record was broken eventually by Steph Curry in 2016. But for Atlanta, that 127 is still a team record. And you wonder if one Trae Young might have his eyes set on it.
First free throw is good. We're just halfway through the season. Brent, talk about the value of leadership and keeping everyone focused night in and night out.
A lot of that will come from your coaching staff and the messaging, but I will tell you what, Kevin, playing with a star player that goes out there and does it night after night, watching James Harden, watching Russell Westbrook, watching Steph Curry have the kind of unreal performances for the game 56, the game 68. You're just sitting there in amazement. You want to step up and say, you know what, I want to be there for you.
But to me, that may be the most important. Like every game they're there. Right? Every single game.
They are there. They're excited to be there. They're excited for you to be playing, and they raise the level of your attentiveness to being competitive on a nightly basis. And truly, those guys become inspirational to you.
Collins, good.
John Collins does a nice job reading the defense there, staying focused right through the contact and gets the finish.
Here's Osman. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Kicks to Garland. Shot clock at 6. Nance outside. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. Yep, it counts. And that's now 10 points for Dante Exum.
Nance is just such a cerebral player out there. Does a good job of trying to be a threat with the assist.
Poked away and stolen by Drummond. Here's Exum. And it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here. Kevin Love's checked in for Nance. Love finds Exum. Now Garland. Passes it to Love. 6 to shoot to the left side wing. Exum with a wide open look. Collins grabs the miss.
Yeah, he's not very hard to defend right now. This is when the defense might step back and let him try to find his range.
Young drives in. Here's Bembry. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
And even if he took away his points, he was still an offensive force because of his passing. His assist numbers were tremendous.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Knocks it loose. Young with no one around. The Hawks again can't hit.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Here's Garland. Collins with some nice D. Atlanta leading by 3. Hunter, the pass to Collins. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Collins has got 4 this quarter.
Pretty good body control from the big man as Collins stays focused on the rim.
Cleveland's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Pass to Osman. Back to Drummond. Banked in off the glass. Drummond's got 12.
A tall and powerful big. Drummond has a natural ability to finish inside.
Young drives in. Goes back up. The pass to Bembry. Jacks up a 3. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. Young's got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, that's a shot he can hit. If you give it to him, you need a little more energy on defense that next trip down.
Garland, the pass to Drummond. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
That one is off.
Selected 9th overall in the 2012 draft, Drummond's carved out a nice NBA career for himself.
Porter's checked in for the Cavaliers. And he sinks the second.
You think about the Cavs and the 2 MVP awards that were won for that franchise. Of course, that was LeBron James in back-to-back seasons, both in 2009 and 2010.
Now, here is Young. 18 points for him. Collins finds Capella. Back to Collins. 5 to shoot. Yes, that goes in. Collins has got the lead up to 7 now for the Hawks.
Confidence there shown by John Collins. Gotta like watching him go right up for the shot.
And then in 2013 with Miami, LeBron Brent finished 1 ballot shy, burning all the MVP votes.
Well, we wouldn't see a unanimous MVP winner until Steph Curry did it in 2016. But just as impressive, if not more so, LeBron James with a total of 4 MVP trophies over a 5-year span.
Here's Collins. Following the basket by Kevin Love. Collins kicks to Bembry. Shoots over Exum. Bembry's shot good. Bembry's got 7 points for the quarter.
Yeah, this story in the second quarter much different than the one in the first. We're finally seeing some aggression.
Garland the pass to Drummond. Pass to Garland. Goes up to the stripe. Again, the Cavaliers score.
Yeah, you got to get up tighter than that. Some players you can give that much room to, but not him.
And Young kicks to Collins. Here's Bembry. 7 points in the game. Pass to Capella. In the corner, Collins with it. Capella trying to free himself up. Offline with his three.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And the Cavaliers this summer selecting point guard Darius Garland with the 5th overall pick. The second-year man, Colin Sexton, already on the roster. Greg, how do you see the fit between these two players?
Well, I mean, both are 6'2". The questions will come at the defensive end of the floor. Offensively, both show great promise as shooters, very scoring-minded guards, reminiscent possibly of a Lillard-McCollum pairing for the Blazers, which could be a roadmap for the Cavs.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Ante Zizic is checked in for Drummond. Sexton comes in for Exum, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Garland.
Well, there's always this talk about Jeff Teague and his speed on display there as he attacks with that opportunity.
.105 left in the first half of basketball. Taken away. Fast break, the Hawks ahead. Pass to Collins. Now here's Teague. Defense is right there.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Sexton the pass to Love. Another shot. He takes it up and lays it in. Love's got 4 this quarter.
Activity and effort and just waiting for the moment. Kevin Love picks that one up. Instinctual score there.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Teague. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. Jones, no luck.
And what should have been a simple pass and finish ends up in a missed opportunity on that alley-oop attempt.
Yeah, you'd like to keep things a little more simple, and that was a play that didn't quite develop the way they wanted it.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Hawks lead by 3. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, let me let you catch your breath, but while you're doing that, what changes do you think are necessary in the second half?
See, to get the loose balls, to be the tougher team, that's really it. I mean, if we do that, I feel like we'll be fine. We missed some layups, so if we convert those in the second half, we feel like we'll have the upper hand and we'll win the game.
All right, Kevin, get to the locker room. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. We saw Trae Young lighting it up in the first half. He had 18 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
They were really efficient on offense. Shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
Looking at Cleveland, Shaq, your thoughts?
Whatever their game plan was defensively coming in, that needs to change. Can't let a team shoot for a percentage in the high 50s and expect to come out on top. It's on the coaches and the players to adjust.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Atlanta leading by 3. And so in the game for the Hawks, Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Trae Young is out there with Bembry, and it's Capella in at the center filling out the middle.
How about Trae Young? Even when he's bodied up there, finds a way to collect more points.
Here's Osman. He kicks it to Exum. Got a piece of it. Young with the ball. Now defended by Exum. Here's Hunter. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Hunter's got the lead up to 7 now for Atlanta.
And what I admire about Hunter is that opportunistic attitude. This kid just makes things happen.
The Cavaliers on offense. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A. Now, here's Garland. After the miss from John Collins. Good work defensively by Capella. Here's Bembry. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Dante Exum.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, some people looking at Atlanta and their situation in terms of the rebuild and wondering what direction they would go. They've made some pretty solid picks. Got John Collins at the 19th pick as a foundation piece, and then obviously drafting Trae Young and Kevin Huerter, relying on shooting on the perimeter, and things moving along swiftly in Atlanta.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And John Collins, Brent, falling that late in the first round shows you how deep that draft was.
Now, some people thought it was going to be a slow rebuild in Atlanta. They've made some pretty good picks. Grabbing Collins, as you mentioned, and then last year picking up Trae Young and Kevin Huerter in the draft and relying on some shooting. That number 19 has been pretty lucky so far for the Atlanta Hawks.
The Cavaliers trail by 9. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And that one's good. Love.
Now, lead passes like that are so hard to defend. He never had to break his stride. So full speed, 2 points.
Young outside. Here's Bembry. He's got 9. And it's sent back by Drummond.
A high motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't want to let any shots go in.
Garland with it. The pass to Drummond. Over Collins. That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Drummond.
Playing from behind right here. Not easy, but he is answering the bell.
Yeah, doing anything he can right now to get his team to cut into this lead and give them a chance.
Good on the bucket.
Oh, man, this would be a different ball game if they didn't have this type of scoring to rely on.
The Cavaliers have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Now, here's Garland. He's got 9. Here's Exum. That's in there. Love with the assist. And that's 12 points for Dante Exum.
Yeah, Love can scan the floor. He's always looking for the late cutter and patient with that decision.
Young inside. Drops in the layup for 2. Young's got 6 here in this quarter.
That's the guy they're going to keep going to, as they should. The lead's only going up if they keep feeding him.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Here's Osman. Bobbed up there for Drummond. And he lays in the alley-oop.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going. Now, here is Young. Defense right on him. Right side, Collins. Back to Young. Takes the 3. The rebound by Kevin Love. Love's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Over in the corner, Osman gets the 3-pointer to fall. Now just a 2-point Hawks lead.
Pretty much not a player in the league is going to pass up a shot like that so much for the defense.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Whether things are good, bad, or indifferent, coaches will have adjustments to make throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, not just there to pump up or to discipline players. You got to make sure that the coach makes the proper adjustments and has his team in the right mindset to carry it out.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Nance has checked in. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Atlanta. Reddish comes in for DeAndre Bembry. Reddish with the putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, if you don't box him out, you're a dead man.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. Feeds it to Drummond. And Capella sends it back. And he gets it back.
A moment now to see the numbers for Capella. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. He's averaging 11 points a game and almost 2.5 blocks. And he's been a rock in the middle for them over that stretch of games. Dominating the glass is his trademark.
I feel like those rebounds are wearing down and eroding the opponent. His effort right now, physically and mentally, has been good.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. And so it's Young who brings it up for Atlanta. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Dishes it to Hunter. Back to Young. Lays it up and banks it in. Young's got 26.
Shifty guard Trae Young finds his ways into some of those cracks and crevices.
Drummond dishes to Garland. Shot clock at 5. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. And a look now at some of the players we can expect to see in this year's dunk contest. Always one of the great events of All-Star Weekend.
It is, Kevin. You just can't take your eyes off it. The ideas those guys come up with and then the guts it takes to pull them off always blows me away.
And you look at Collins, and I know he'd like to make a move up in the consideration. He's got all the athleticism you hope for from a dunk contest participant.
He sure does. Lots of competition, though, in the running this year to get that big invite.
And as always, we'll keep the updates coming in as we get closer to All-Star Weekend. One thing we already know, There are some great players pulling in votes so far.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that this is going to be one of those dunk contests that everybody's going to be tuning into.
Here's Drummond. That misses off the backboard. Atlanta leading by 7. Reddish the pass to Hunter. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Andre Drummond picks one up.
And there, just through activity, Hunter keeps the pressure on the defense.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
And on the season, you know, only shooting around 73%, so not necessarily where he'd like to be.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Colin Sexton, he's checked in for Cleveland. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. You know, some people, Brent, have compared the hard-nosed Colin Sexton to Russell Westbrook. What do you think?
I think that might be overshooting it a little bit. Russell is Russell, quite frankly, but at 6'2" with those long arms, is he a bigger version of maybe Eric Bledsoe, who played his early years with the Clippers and now with the Bucks, where he can get out and defend, use that body and size a little bit to bowling ball his way into the interior and make some things happen.
The first free throw is good.
Yeah, the rookie class last year was very impressive, especially the top 5 picks earning all rookie first team honors. Colin is one of those guys last year, 3rd among rookies in scoring, and really was good towards the tail end of the season.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And Sexton, the 3rd rookie ever to average 16 points per game with over 40% from long range, and Brent over 80% from the line.
Yeah, a lot of that, Kevin, came late in the season as he tried to get his footing early on. Scored 20 points or more in 8 straight games. He was the first rookie to do that since Tim Duncan did it back in 1998.
The Cavaliers trail by 9. Garland dishes to Drummond. And Capella sends it back. Oh, and there's the alley-oop.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Garland. And then for Atlanta, Damian Jones is checked in for Capella. Kevin Huerter comes in for Hunter. And it's Teagan for Young. Pass to Dellavedova. Here's Osman. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Brent, out of Macedonia, Jetty Osman, 24 years of age and 2nd in minutes played for the Cavs last season.
Yeah, Jetty, a lot of tumult around the team with his introduction to NBA basketball, but don't forget, a couple years playing pro in Europe and a top player on the Turkish national team. I think he's really ready for a bigger role with this organization.
The first one falls. It's tough to get a unified feel on who the league MVP is. Which element, when you're looking at the MVP, matters most to you?
If we talk about that, Kevin, I always think about the MVP ends up being the guy that helps you get 6 to 8 unexpected wins. That's who I look to. So in this past season, what it was that Giannis did, not only with Coach Budenholzer coming in to Milwaukee, the stylistic change that they went through, and then the shouldered responsibility of Giannis to be the initiator to that much change in one season. That's why last year I feel like he was the most valuable player in the league. Even though eye-popping numbers were coming out of Houston, again with James Harden, I go back to Giannis and that massive amount of change and him being the guy that shouldered it all.
That's a great answer. The Hawks leading by 9. Outside Teague. Over in the corner, Reddish. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 5th assist in this one. The Cavaliers have gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the 3rd. Now, here's Sexton. D right on him. Dedmon with the block.
Well, Dedmon's reach is a huge advantage there to help him tally some more block shots.
All right, a moment to check out the stats for Andre Drummond. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so. 5th in rebounding, 17th in blocks. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And he's so explosive, so hungry. You really can't keep him off the glass when he wants to get there. That's why he's top 5 in rebounding. First one falls for him.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
And both free throws good for Drummond. And Atlanta has possession. Teague deciding where to go with it. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Drummond. The Cavaliers trail by 9. Now Sexton. He has 7. Fires from 14. Here's Zizic, and Jones sends it back. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. So it's Atlanta now. Atlanta leading by 9. And here's Reddish. 9 points in the game so far. Just 5 on the clock. He feeds it to Jones. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Jones has got the lead up to 11 now for Atlanta.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Passes it to Sexton. Here's the floater. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Got to be cautious around Sexton. He's very good at seeking out contact and did it there.
The Cavaliers have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
No good on the free throw.
Well, Sexton has tremendous athleticism and a great motor. It's about now being a floor general in this new system.
He hits the second from the line. Teague with the ball. He has 6. Pass to Dedmon. Back to Teague. And the layup falls. Teague's got 8 points.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
The Cavaliers trail by 12. Now here is Dellavedova. It's blocked.
How about that? That's a big boost defensively if Herder can get in there and block shots and intimidate in some way.
Jones, and it's slammed in by Jones.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Well, the thing is they're controlling the pace right now, and if that was the mantra for them at halftime, they've carried it out.
And so here's Cleveland after the basket by Atlanta. Here's Osman. He's got 7. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Sexton. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
Well, he's using the force, but in the worst way possible right now. He just needs to dial it back and look to work the ball around the floor to his teammates.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
Here's Osman after the basket by Atlanta. Count that bucket. Osman's got 7 points for the quarter.
A defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
Teague left side to the wing on the left. Herder passes to Teague. Hits the three-point bomb. He's got 11.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
.122 left in the third quarter of the game. And there's the pass to Zizic. Now here's Sexton. Back to Zizic. Now here's Sexton. He's guarded closely. It's good. Sexton's got 10 points in the game.
Letting Sexton fall into that kind of rhythm, that's a disaster for the defense. They got to be better.
And Teague, here we go. Count it. And the Hawks lead by 17.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And it's Dellavedova with the ball. He brings it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. A nice shot by Teague.
Could come down the selection. Bad shots in the first half. Here in the second, using his head, finding some more efficient opportunities to score.
We've got 33 seconds left to play in the third. Dellavedova is scanning the floor. And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. That free throw missing.
An 86% foul shooter for his college career. Dellavedova hasn't been quite that consistent at the pro level.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Love's checked in for Drummond. And it's Dante Exum in for Jetty Osman. Then for the Hawks, John Collins. He's checked in for Dwayne Dedman. And it's Bembry in for Reddish. Atlanta leading by 18. Now Teague. 15 points in the game. Outside Collins. Back to Teague. Left side Jones. Over to the left wing. Collins, good.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Hawks on top, running away with this one. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, anytime a guy's in the post and the teammates know he's unselfish, great player movement can create an opportunity just like that.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Garland and Sexton man the backcourt. Kevin Love out there with Exum, and it's Zizic in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Here's Love. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. Pass to Zizic. 5 on the clock. Over Jones. It's rebounded by Teague.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Collins trying to break free. Teague can't hit. The Cavaliers trail by 20. Exum passes to Sexton. And stolen by Jeff Teague. And obviously some good players have taken less money for a chance at a winning championship situation. That's made some rich teams even better.
Well, you have to appreciate a player in that regard, thinking that the financial gains that he could have somewhere else and playing for a team that's not capable of doing what it is that you're trying to do, and that's win a championship, that they've decided, look, it's not about that for me. What it is about the experience of being around a team that elevates itself to being the best team in the league. And if you're fortunate enough at the highest level, Kevin, as a basketball player, to be around a championship, that experience sticks with you for a lifetime. So you do appreciate guys looking for those opportunities to be around a championship. Man, so impressive. Collins way up for that one.
The Cavaliers trail by 20. Garland the pass to Zizic. To the middle. Garland with the bucket.
Now, those interior passes can be dangerous sometimes, but if the timing is good and you execute it there, you can get easy hoops.
And Garland comes to help. Passes it to Bembry. Back to Jones. Out to the right wing. Love against Collins. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. The Cavaliers have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Exum's shot is off.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to stay on top of a guy like that who can play at such a high level offensively.
And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Friday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then on Saturday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago against the Bulls.
And Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
And he knocks down the first one.
And Teague can be a knockdown shooter, especially from the free throw line.
The Cavaliers making a switch here. Nance is checked in, and then for Atlanta, Clint Capella comes in for Jones, and Hunter subbed in for Kevin Huerter. And so he hits both. And when it comes to choosing, Brent, the MVP, the Coach of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, all these different great awards, do you like the current voting structure for these big awards right now?
I don't mind the current voting structure. I don't know how you get away from what it is that, in terms of handing people ballots to figure out who it is that they think have earned those awards throughout the year, Kevin. What I don't like about the structure is that you have media members who are voting on things that have huge financial ramifications for organizations. And when that stuff happens, with a player who's going to earn a supermax contract because he made an all-NBA team, what you're going to start doing is restricting smaller market teams from being able to afford the ability to keep their star player with the team. And so that needs to be fixed, and fixed immediately.
I do not like the media. Wait a minute.
Wait.
I am the media.
You are the media, Kevin.
Strike that. Let's rewind.
Can we delete that? Yeah, sometimes in a game you settle a little bit before settling in, and right now I think he's a big factor in how they're getting to the line.
Young outside. Lob pass to Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
I think he gets as much talk, not just about his shot selection, but his playmaking.
The Cavaliers trail by 19. And here is Garland. Gets that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Young kicks to Capella. Clock at 6. Outside Collins. Over Love. Here's Hunter, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. Garland with it. Love outside. Knocked away. Now here's Hunter. Defended by Sexton. Here's Collins. Lays it up off the glass. Collins has got 4 points in the quarter.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses? Understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
Pass to Love. Inside. Here. Great assist by Love. Love's got his 3rd assist on the night.
The defense just too soft on that possession. You have to be closer and contest at the rim.
And Young, here we go. And in the summer of 2018, Kevin Love signed a 4-year, $120 million extension to remain in Cleveland.
Yeah, and Kevin right now is the bridge from what was to potentially what will be. And in that what will be scenario, what will be happening is Kevin Love probably gets traded at some point. But he's been great for Cleveland. He's been a great ambassador for the city. The things that he's doing off the court philanthropically have been amazing. And Kevin Love is not done in the NBA. Still another team out there for him to go to and contribute to.
He's perfect from the line this time. You know, the NBA not the only league with great players and great play. Talk about some of the other prominent leagues around the world. There's some terrific competition.
There's some great competition overseas in the Turkish leagues. Some very good players that play in the Russian league. there are some great players who are coming out of Australia, and we're actually seeing players now skip playing in the G League to go down to Australia to start their development and professional careers. So when we talk about the world game, Kevin, we're not joking around. It's a very real thing, and we continue to invite the best players that we can find, and they come from all over.
Hunter, no good.
Really surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds, given what the scoreboard says.
Now, here's Sexton. He's covered closely. They get a hand on it, and he uses the glass on the layup.
When you get physical like that, I don't think Sexton minds it all that much, able to play through it.
And so Young will bring it up for Atlanta. They led the game at 1 point by 20. And here's Collins from outside. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Garland's got 4 rebounds now tonight. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Teardrop shot.
No, sir. Collins sending that one away.
There's the lob to the hoop. Stolen by Exum. In transition, here come the Cavaliers. Exum leading the charge, and Capella sends it back. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Capella. A different look now for Cleveland. Andre Drummond comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Jetty Osman in for Sexton. Here's Garland. To the left wing. Drummond in the post. He's guarded by Collins. 5 to shoot. Here's Garland. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Hunter dishes to Collins. Three-pointer. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Here's Osman. Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
With a large frame and a willingness to get physical, Drummond's a relentless rebounder.
Young drives in. To the inside. And there's Hunter on the assist by Young. Young's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Timeout called the Cavaliers. Without question, Trae Young displaying his skills today.
Well, I hope this one is not to draw up a play, but to think about how they're going to defend that man. He's putting up some major numbers.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Trae Young.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
Their previous 2 games have been losses, so something had to change to get them going again. He provided that spark, giving them a huge jolt of energy. The feed now to Exum. Atlanta with the rebound. Outside Collins. Bembry kicks it out to Collins. The pass to Bembry. The 3 bangs home the trifecta. And the Hawks lead by 19.
A big man John Collins seeing the court that time.
Here's Garland. Pass to Love for the 3. Collins grabs the miss. Atlanta leading by 19 points. Here's Bembry. Kicks to Hunter. It's tipped. Shot from the low block. Bembry shot good.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around it.
Garland the pass to Love. Here's Osman. Love right side. Just 5 to shoot. Drummond, and Drummond is right there. Drummond's got 26.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Young outside, fires at the elbow. Here's Bembry. Here's Capella to the left side wing. They shoot again. Bembry misses.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they can find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
Exum dishes to Drummond. That shot off. The Hawks leading by 19. Young in the corner. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Young's got 4 this quarter.
Trae Young not backing down from the physical defense on that play.
Now here's Garland. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Passes it to Love. The 3. Rebound by the Hawks. Now Young. In the corner, Collins with it. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. Young's got his 8th assist in the game. Player salary is obviously a large investment, Brent. What are some other investments that owners can make to help their team get better, either on the floor or off?
Massive one, Kevin, obviously, is in terms of your players' wellness and what it is that you're doing with your physical therapy staff, your strength and conditioning staff, because you want these guys available at the best and maximum potential physically that they can give you. A lot of teams, quite frankly, in the past couple of seasons, Kevin, looking into other ways, holistic therapies, mental approach that they can have mental wellness for their players as part of their programming. So teams that think you build some beautiful practice facility and just let the guys go bounce the ball around and shoot are absolutely missing.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, they're missing the boat on what it is that their players require, need to be complete as people.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
That's good from Capella. That one is no good. And so it's Drummond with it. He'll bring it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Hawks.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
A very solid win indeed. And when you check out the box score, there were some great numbers for Trae Young.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And they forced the shot clock violation. Great D. Atlanta with the ball. They're on a 16-6 run. The clock now can just run out for the Hawks. Here's Bembry. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.